Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This practice is called knee love, and for good reason. We're going to be giving your knees some extra special attention and love, and not just the knees. We're going to go below the knees to the ankle joint and work on mobility, and above the knees to the hip joint and work on mobility. And then we have some strength built into this program as well through the entire body. So the inspiration for this practice is from a dear friend of mine named Marie. And Marie is a yogi. She's been practicing for a long time. And she's become very frustrated because her knee is becoming more and more limited, and it's keeping her from her practice and affecting her mind and body in many ways. And this is what happens when we have injuries in our bodies. It really starts to have a big effect on our psyche, on our mind as well. So we got together and we came up with this program for her. And I thought it would be nice to share with any of you that might have a knee vulnerability. Now, Marie's at the place where her next step is looking towards a knee replacement, but maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you just have a knee that's very limiting. You can't balance on your leg. You have pain in certain positions. So hopefully you can extract something out of this class that can help you. Now, please keep in mind that you can always press the pause button on me. If there's something that feels particularly good and you want to take your time, do it a little more, just press pause and you can do that. And likewise, if there's something that doesn't feel so good for your knees, just not quite the right fit, you can fast forward, just skip over it. So you're really going to need to listen to what feels right for you. And remember that the language of the body is often pain or pleasure. And if you feel pain in any of these postures, skip over it, all right? Or make an adjustment or two until you move away from the pain. Always a good practice to keep in mind when we are doing yoga. So you'll need a few props today. One would be just a hand towel of some type that will roll up, 2 blocks if you have them, and then also a blanket that you can roll up, or perhaps a large throw pillow off of your couch. And then, of course, a chair that I'm sitting on. So you might need to pause this right now and gather up those props: a chair, a blanket, 2 blocks, and a hand towel, and then meet me back here. Right? So if you're ready, I'm gonna ask you to take a seat on your chair and put your hands on your legs, ground your feet on the ground, and then let your eyes begin to close, or simply look down towards the floor. And just begin to acknowledge that you are stepping into this time to give yourself a little love and attention. Even though your body might be feeling a limitation, you are not your body. You are so much more than your body. Your physical spirit, your spirit is magnificent. And sometimes our spirits can feel dampened when we have an injury or a limitation. So my hope is that you feel a sense of empowerment through this practice. You see that there's still so much that you can do. And that's what we need to focus on when we have an injury or a limitation, or a body isn't working like it used to. We need to focus on all that we can still do. And know that if we honor our limitations, they can get stronger. We can begin to feel less limited. So let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Last time. All righty, friends, and just let your eyes open and we will embark upon our journey here now. So we'll start, actually, we can stand up and move our chair out of the way for a moment. Just put it off of your yoga mat. Of course, a yoga mat would be handy to have too. I didn't mention that, but you don't have to have the mat. And I'm going to move my props back here. We're going to start off with this rolled blanket or a pillow if you don't have a rolled blanket, and we'll come down onto the floor. So just roll it up into a nice little bolster look there. And we'll start facing down on our stomachs with our knee, the inside edge of our knee propped up on a blanket. And so as we rest here, it's another way to ground and center us. It'll start to open the inseam of the leg here. And we will be going through all of the areas around the hip that influence the knee positively or negatively. So we want to open this hip up as well. So I'll invite you to just make your way on down to your stomach. And then once you're here, this is called a mountain climber pose, but we're going to do it in a cushy way. We're going to put this under our knee. So bring your right knee up so that the inside of the knee rests on the blanket, but your foot is touching on the floor. Okay. And then just square up so that you can face straight down. You can stack your hands and lay your forehead on your hands, or turn one cheek to your hands if that feels better. And then just take a moment here, make sure your left leg is lengthened long, tops of your foot, the top of your left foot is grounded. And then this is meant to be very passive. Just taking a few slow, sweet breaths. And really remembering that it's important to give yourself some grace and be patient if you have something in the body that's giving you a challenge. The body really desires to heal. It wants to heal. We just need to love it up and give it time. And that's not always easy to do. So see if you can let your right knee just fall a little heavier. Just kind of surrender into that blanket. Notice if there's any resistance in your inner thigh. That's usually the case. A little bit of tightness there. So just give it time to get the message that you're asking it to slowly release, open up. And now we'll ask you to slowly lift on up here. Just going to slide your leg off the blanket. And then however it's most comfortable for you. If it's okay to come up on your knees and just transport the blanket to the other side, go ahead and do that. I'm going to turn around in my case here and come on down, belly down again. Bring your left knee up now. Again, your foot is on the floor and the blanket is just under the inner knee, a little bit of your upper leg and your lower leg. And then just come on down. And as you're resting here, really not a lot to do, just surrender into it. Maybe gently guide your attention to your breath. Maybe even send the breath right to your left knee or your left inner thigh. Just envision it going there. There's a lot of healing power inside of our breath. So if this practice feels helpful to you, you might try it for 2 or 3 days in a row and then just see how your body is receiving it. And always touch base after the first day and see what you're feeling. And then just from a place of feeling, we can always make the wisest choice. Do we repeat it again right away or give ourselves a day rest? Just really listen to your wise body. All right, let's come up. Come on up and you're going to release your leg down and we'll be coming up now to a seated position. So come on up to a seat. however that's comfortable for you. If you even want to sit up on your blanket, you could certainly do that. I think I'm going to do that. So you can just relax your left leg. Maybe it's straight out, maybe it's bent, just wherever it's comfortable for you. And we're going to take a little moment as we warm up here. Excuse me, as we warm up here it's really important that we keep the joints mobile below and above the knee. So that means our ankle and hip here. So what we're going to ask you to do is first, just take your right arm underneath your right knee and then pick your leg up a little bit here. And I like to just hold one arm to the other, creating a little sling here. So this leg is just kind of dangling, and then start to circle, make circles with your whole ankle inward. Yeah. And if the ankle isn't feeling very mobile, that's okay. Just notice this is going to get easier. It's going to improve over time. And then go the opposite direction, circle. Sometimes it helps. I like to envision a big crayon attached to my big toe, and I'm just making a circle on a canvas out in front there. So circling it on out. And you might go back inward a couple times. And then go outward a couple times. Sometimes it's a coordination or a neural pathway that has to happen between the brain and the ankle too. So this is all called yoga practice for a reason. We practice and things improve over time. All right, so from here, simply just place your heel down on the mat, and you're going to take your two hands and brace your knee. So just as if you were to stabilize your knee, and then encourage the foot to go in and out like a little windshield wiper action. So you're going to bring the foot in, bring the foot out. Meanwhile, you're stabilizing the knee joint. And again, just see how it feels, right? If for some reason it's like, whoop, that does not feel good at all, then you just push the fast forward button and skip on over to the next side. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going back and forth. My heel is pressing down into the mat and kind of oscillating back and forth there. So you're not trying to keep the heel stationary. It's going to move with the foot. Yeah, just a couple more times here. And then we're simply going to repeat this on the other leg. So bring your right leg to wherever it's comfortable, whatever that position is for you. And then take your left arm under your left knee, pick it on up. And you can hold arm to arm here, elbow to elbow, and just create a sling if that feels right. So from here, we'll circle inward. Again, trying to keep the ankle joint really mobile. All of our joints, we want to keep mobile. That's one of the beauties of this practice. It's a great way to just keep everything moving smoothly. Let's reverse and go the opposite direction. Yeah, nice and easy. Got the big crayon going on here. Maybe you changed colors on this side. Circling it out. You might find that one side is easier to do than the other. Let's go back in a few times, inward. And then outward. And now from here, we'll place our heel down, take both hands and stabilize the knee joints like you're giving it a good hug. Flex your foot here. So you draw your toes back, and then just turn the foot in, turn it out, turn it in, turn it out. So the whole shin bone, really, the lower leg bone is kind of rotating in and out, if you notice that. And continue to hug your knee in and out. Just isolating the ankle joint here if we can. Awesome, and release. Okay, moving right along here now. So you'll need to take your blanket out. here, or you could also use a block if you want. So blanket, you're going to put it under your right knee, or sometimes I prefer a block on this one and it lifts my leg a little bit higher. So either would work, blanket or block, and just bring your right leg out over that. So moving here on to really strengthening through the quadriceps. When this thigh muscle is strong, it helps support the knee. And even if you're looking at a knee replacement down the road, we want the body to be as strong as possible before you go into that, so that your recovery time will be much quicker afterwards, right? So many reasons to be strong now and strong later. So you're going to just put this right in the back of your knee, sitting tall here, and then flex your right foot and then raise the knee up and contract your quadricep and then lower down. I meant to say raise the foot up, not the knee. Raise the foot up, pressing the knee down into the block and contract your quadricep, and then just repeat. So squeeze. Again, notice how it feels for you. For any reason it's not feeling good, skip over it, or maybe just do a couple for now. Good. Keep going. So you lift and right up here, really firm up, and as if your back of your knee is trying to push down into the block. Okay. So I'm using the block, but you might even use this rolled blanket or even a rolled big towel. And there's a nice action of squishing the blanket when you lift. So you're lifting, squeezing here, squishing the blanket. Let's do 5 more. 5, down. 4, hold it, firm it, down. 3, down. 2, and last 1. So if you can do like 5 to 10 on each side, it'd be a good place to start. So let's switch to the other leg, either your blanket or your block. I'm kind of liking the blanket better. It's up to you though. So I'm going to lift up, squeeze, and feel the knee pressing down into the blanket as you firm the quadricep, and then release and squeeze and release, squeeze, release. So of course you might only have one knee that is the challenge right at this moment. It's not a bad knee. Don't call it bad. It's just challenged. But the other leg still needs the same attention. So keep going here, about 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. And release. And then take the blanket off to the side. Now, again, if that felt good for you, pause me, do a few more. Take that off. Now we'll come onto our elbows. Again, we'll strengthen the quads here, but starting to get into our abdomen and our core, we need that strong as well. So you can extend your legs out long, come onto your forearms and elbows, and do your best to lift your chest nice and full here. Then lift your right leg up. It doesn't have to be super high, just lift it up and firm this quadricep again. Flex your foot, so that means draw your toes back towards your face. And I want you to extend out through your heel. So really feel like you're telescoping your leg. It's growing longer. Press out through the heel and just hold. Feel when you press out through your heel, how it wakes up your core. And then lower the right leg down. We'll do the left leg now. Please lift it up. Extend out through the heel of a flexed foot. We're keeping our chest nice and elevated. And the quadricep is saying, holy moly, holy guacamole, and release down. Let's do the right side. Lift it on up, hold. Nice enthusiastic quad muscle here. Reach out through your heel. Release it down. Lift the left leg, extend out through the heel. Remember to breathe along the way. And down. Now, if this bothers your neck, just come on down to your back. So you can come here, lift and extend, firm. You won't get as much abdominal work. You still get some for sure. And then release back down. Lifting back up, Yeah, I can still feel it's still working down there. You're feeling it too, I know. Press out through your heel and release down. Let's do one more each side. Please lift your right leg, flex the foot, press out through the heel. Lower the right leg, lift the left leg, press out through the heel, and lower it down. So while we're down here, let's go ahead and add in some specific abdominal work. Bring your legs on up, flex your feet, and then place your hands on your thighs. We call this abdominal bracing. So you're just gonna give your thigh bones a hug by squeezing with your fingers, like you're squeezing your muscles. And then squeeze into where you feel more of the bone of your leg, and then pull the leg bone up a little bit, little traction. Then apply a gentle pressure forward on your thighs while your thighs respond by pushing back into your hands. And then as you're doing this nice, easy bracing action, feel what happens deep in your core. A lot of important muscles turn on to support you, but in that they get stronger. Holding here for 4 more, 3, 2, 1. Release your feet to the ground. Stretch your arms over your head. Just take a moment here, a nice full breath in. Good, and then lift your legs back up. Now you can do the exact same thing if you're just starting out. That might be a good place. Or you can take it up a notch by putting both hands on your left thigh, extending your right leg out. Really reach out through your heel like you were doing before, pressing a little bit of pressure with your hands, not too much. Don't overdo it. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll switch sides. Bend your right knee, place the hands on your right thigh, extend your left leg out, holding 4, 3, 2, 1. And please bend both knees into your chest. Now, if you want more of that abdominal work, pause and do a few more on your own. So you can add another with 2 legs and maybe another set with both legs, with 1 leg at a time, I should say. Good. Bring your knees in and then rolling over to your right side. Let's make our way on up into a transition. So we're going to come up to standing, and this is where we want to bring, let me see, we'll bring our chair in a little bit, but first of all, where'd my other block go? Oh, there it is. So bring your blocks in, and you might want to be near a wall on this. If you need a little assistance with balance, just get near a wall, and that will be helpful. Otherwise, just have your blocks parked out here. So I would snuggle up to the wall and put my left hand there if I needed to, or put your blocks out here. And you'll start by just bending forward between your blocks. Just take a moment. You can either put your hands on your blocks here or park them off to the side of your ankles, maybe touch the floor, see what feels right. Take a moment to let your head release, let your neck release, and breathe. Do notice your feet. Make sure they're straight ahead. You might observe the arches of the feet, especially on the side where the knee is vulnerable. If it's one-sided, does that arch fall in? If so, can you lift the arch up? Can you maybe lift and spread your toes for a brief moment and see how that lifts your arches? And keep equal pressure throughout all the parts of your foot, the inner and outer edge. Okay, that'll be important as we move into this next one. So step your right leg back, not too wide, so not as wide as this for a lunge, but maybe halfway. And then take your time coming up. And this is where you might want to hold the wall or even put your chair there. So we're here, my back heel is down and the heel is slightly turned in. Okay. Try your best to turn your hip bones forward And then again, holding on to something or just put your hands on your hips. I'm going to ask you to come halfway over. So just about right here, halfway, and then slowly come back up. Okay. So if you're balanced, if you're really wavering, you could take this back leg a little more over to the right, even come up onto the ball of your foot if that feels better. Okay, so find what works for you. And again, elongate so your hips go back as you come over. So you're getting hopefully a nice stretch down your front hamstring here and coming back up. And one more time over. Again, you might touch your fingers to the blocks each time here, or just keep a hand on the wall. We're going to go down and stay this time. This is where the blocks could be very beneficial. Stay here, and this back hip, your right hip, see if you can just slightly steer it forward. This is where you might peek down at your front foot and put a little bit more emphasis of weighting in the big toe side. So press the big toe side down more. Push your pelvis back a little bit more if possible. And then see if you can grow longer through your spine, slightly looking out in front of you. Oh, and a nice deep breath would feel good here. Deep, slow breath in, slow breath out. Good. And then we'll come on up. Just take your time. You could step your back leg forward. That might be a better exit and come all the way out. So if you're using the wall, of course, just turn around, go the opposite direction so you can put your right hand on the wall. And we'll start by stepping the left leg back. And again, either take the foot off to the left a little and anchor the heel down, or if you want to work a little bit more on balance, come up onto the ball of the back foot where the heel is lifted. Okay. Both legs straight. And from here, we'll just hinge at the hip joint. Do your best to keep both legs straight and come back up. Hinge at the hip joint and rise. So take an inhale here, exhale forward. Last one, inhale up. You're doing great. Exhale down, we'll reach to the floor or the blocks and pause. Now, see if it's possible to lift the back heel and pivot onto the ball of the foot if you're not already. Then steer your left frontal hip bone forward just a tad. Press your pelvis back, thighs and pelvis move back energetically. It's not a big movement. And spine stretches forward. Check the front foot, anchor the big toe side. And if you feel strain in your knee, one option might be that you are uprooting the big toe side of the foot. So check that. The other might be that you're hyperextending your front leg here. So just be mindful that you're not jamming that leg straight. Maybe there needs to be a little whisper of a bend. See if that helps. Body is always talking to us. If we're listening, it's always communicating, and we can move even little tiny movements away from discomfort. All right, so we're going to step forward. Oh yeah, and stand on up. Fantastic. You can move the blocks out of the way, and now we're going to bring the chair in. So when I was working with my friend Marie, she's like, I miss my sun salutations. I want to do my sun salutes, but she's no longer able to balance or put pressure on one leg at a time. And so the lunges were tripping us up a little bit. So we figured out a way to do a sun salutation. So we're going to use the chair and for part of it, and then we'll take the chair out for the other part. So you can get creative. Don't give up just because you can't do one thing. There's always so much that you still can do. We have to keep remembering that. So come on up to, we'll call it the front of your mat. The chair is just sitting here behind you, right in the middle of the mat. So I'm give you a moment there to adjust. I'm going to move some of my props out of the way here as well. And we're going to just move through. variations of a sun salutation. And I love this one. It feels so good on stretching out your hip flexor and many other parts. So bring the hands together, feet straight ahead, and stand tall, and just receive a nice, generous, healing breath. And breathe it out. And just remember, your body recognizes that you're trying to help it, you're trying to strengthen it, and it will receive all the love that you give it. On your next inhale, please reach your arms up. Do a nice full stretch up to the ceiling, maybe a gentle back bend. And then exhale, slowly forward fold, coming on down. Hands come onto your shins, halfway lift, just extend your spine, push your pelvis back, and exhale, bow. Now take a look behind you, see where your chair is at. And I can see that I'm a little too far away from my chair, so I'm going to step back a little bit closer. You might want to do the same thing. And then we'll just come upright here. Put your left hand on the back of the chair and sit your bottom on down. So from here, you're going to move off to the edge of the chair with your left butt cheek, and then take your right leg behind you. So this would be our lunge that we normally do. We're going to go into Anjaneyasana, which means we would drop the knee down. It, of course, is not going to touch the ground here, but it's reaching down towards the ground. And maybe already you start to feel some divine sensation move up your leg, some opening here through an often very tight part of us humans, the hip flexor. Left hand is still on the back of the chair, and then we'll sweep the right arm up. Right arm up. So the right knee is descending down, the right arm is reaching up. Feel that for a moment. Now, if you want to add a little more interest, you could lean to your left. Ooh, doesn't that change things a bit? Lean to your left, just arcing your spine. Oh, that feels so good. Yeah. The chair is a good thing. It's a good thing. Making your way back up and release your arm down. And now we'll just simply bring that leg in, pivot to face straight on out on the chair, and take the feet wide. Feet wide and slightly turned out with your toes here. Okay. From here, you'll grow tall through your spine, and then exhale, slide on down, put your hands on the mat, and release your head. And then actively press the soles of your feet down from the balls of the feet all the way back to the heels. Release the head. One more slow breath here. And then lifting your torso, you're going to walk on up, and we'll simply bring the legs together. We'll stand up, and we'll stand over on the other side now to repeat. So bring the hands to your heart center. Nice deep breath in. Breathe it out. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Now you see the chair. I'm going to have to back it up again. Maybe you do too. Back it up. Lift your hands on up. And I would support your right hand on the back of the chair and have a seat. And then again, move over to the outer edge of the chair with your right buttock. Take your left leg behind you, the ball of the foot on the ground. So you could feel this full stretch if that feels nice for you. Go fully stretch the back leg, shoulders back over the pelvis. And now bend the back knee as if to go to Anjaneyasana. Holding onto the chair with your right hand, swing your left arm up. Feel your left knee descending down, really dropping like an anchor down, and you're rising up out of that. Feeling good. Doing everything you can to assist your body to remain strong and healthy. free and mobile. Lean over to your right if you'd like. Lean, lean, lean. Now, if this feels really good to you, remember you can repeat all this. Just pause and do it again. You have the power with the pause button on your end and come back up. All right, and then bring yourself around and bring the legs into center position. So let's come into a hip stretch here. I'm going to ask you to pick up your left foot. So now if this is your vulnerable knee, when you pick up the foot, really flex it. Okay, so just kind of stabilize that joint of the ankle and keep it flexed as you come across. Okay, so see how this might feel. If this is okay, then by George, you can stay right here and feel a little stretch through the hip. Lengthen up through your spine. You might even just hold your foot here so this stays, when the ankle and foot stay stable, will have a positive stabilizing effect on the knee, okay, as opposed to it sickling in. So maybe you lean forward a little bit. Okay. If this part is not working for your knee, skip over it. Skip over it. But it's really important to keep the hip, all four sides of the hip open. So when the hips get tight, there's a tension, like a guide wire tension down in the knee area. So we'll come up and then we'll switch sides. So again, just pick up the right foot. I'm sitting more towards the edge of the chair. Flex it, keep it very stable through the ankle, and then bring it on over. And you can stay just right here. Maybe this is plenty. Or you can start to lean forward a little. Either is fine, as long as you're feeling adequate sensation, not pain. Awesome. And then come on up and release. So now we'll stand up and we'll go into a posture called Warrior Two, which is obviously, you know, and here, but sometimes you can't take the full weight on the bent knee. So we'll utilize the chair again. So if you come to the chair, sit with your left bum on the chair again, put your front leg here at a 90-degree angle, knee over ankle. And then just start to inch this leg back into a Warrior Two. So if possible, the back toes are facing out, the back leg is straight, and you're just giving your weight into the chair at this point, giving into the chair, let it hold you, and then extend the arms on out. Really energetically expanding long through the back leg, anchoring into the foot, energetically growing tall through the spine. And then looking over the left hand and just feel the empowered sensation of this pose. Feel that you are strong. And then if you'd like, you can go into reverse warrior where you bring the back hand down and stretch the left arm up. Oh, so good. And then come on up. You'll bend your back leg, bring it in, just do a little pivot on the chair so that your right foot is here, knee over ankle. Extend the back leg out and rotate so the sole of the foot is down and the toes face out. Okay. And then extend your arms out, grow tall through your spine. You are a proud warrior or warriorette, and look out over the right hand. Receive a few breaths. All of the breath consciousness really helps soothe our nervous system. We can heal. We can heal on so many levels of the body more easily when we're not in fight or flight mode all the time. So the breath helps us to shift into that place of rest and digest. And then release your arms. Oh, we do reverse warrior. Almost forgot that one. Reach on back. And then please bring yourself up from that. And we're going to just use your hand here and shift your hips on the chair And I think we are going to place the chair off to the side now. So if you don't mind, just move that on out. Now, the next part of this would be inside of a sun salutation. And in my friend Marie's case, she could still do this part fine. So we did the standing poses, the lunges with the chair, and now we're going to do the down dog, plank, and cobras. Okay, so we're just kind of dissecting the sun salutation and customizing it for ourselves. And we can do that. So hands to heart center, inhale, stretch up, exhale, forward fold. And then step back to a downward facing dog, the good old dog of yoga. And you can start to pedal through your legs, bending one knee at a time if you'd like. Now, when we go to full plank, you always have the option of lowering the knees to the ground if you prefer. So let's go there now. Inhale, come forward to plank. Again, lifting the back of the head. Option 1 would be to lower your knees down here. Option 2 would be to keep them up. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Tops of your feet go down. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, lift to cobra. Exhale, down. Toes curl under. Lift back up, downward facing dog. Deep breath here. Breathe it out. Inhale to plank. Strong plank here. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to cobra. Make sure the elbows stay bent here. Exhale down. We're gonna do one more like that. Curl the toes. Back we go, downward facing dog. And let's do a little bend in the knees this time in down dog, and really push your seat up with your knees bent. Maybe add a little lumbar curve to your low back. And in the middle here, draw the ribs up into the body more, so you engage the core a little more. Good. Let's come forward. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale down. Pushing up to your knees this time. Come onto your forearms. And this is a variation of child's pose that often feels a little better on people's knees instead of going all the way back. If that feels okay, go there. Otherwise, stay up on your knees and just let your head bow. Let there be a lumbar curve in your low back so your sitting bones are shining upward. And just receive a breath here. It's good to take these pauses in our practice to really check in and feel. And listen to any whisperings from your body and its wisdom. And right now, my body is saying, hey, you should have them grab a block. So grab one block. And this is something that can be interesting and helpful and strengthening. You stay where you are. I'm going to stand up for a moment. You're going to place the block wide like this between your shins, and you'll have to move it up or down to find the most comfortable spot. Okay, so if it's too high, it'll hit on this bone up here. Feel bony, so go a little lower. And we're going to see if we can do down dog, plank, and cobra and maintain a squeezing in on this block. Okay, so we're hugging in on it the entire time. Okay, so hopefully I can get back down here. So you are putting that block in right now, down here, wherever you're at, put the block in, and then come to your hands and knees. I'm giving you a moment there. And then once you're on your hands and knees and you have the block there and you're squeezing it between your shins, move your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders, and then keep squeezing the block as you lift up to your downward dog. Now check in. How does this feel? Is it feeling okay on your leg, on your knees? And from here, maintain the pressure on the block as you come forward to your plank pose. Keep hugging it as you drop down slowly to your tummies and tops of the feet go flat. Inhale, lift a cobra. Keep squeezing in on the block. Exhale down. Toes go back under. Here we go, kids. Woohoo! Up to downward dog. Doing the block dog, squeeze in. How about one more of those? You ready? Here we go. Squeeze the block, come forward, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down, pushing back, downward facing dog. Oh, nice. Well done. Lower the knees. Please reach back and take the block out of the way. Good job. Now, if you liked that, of course, you know, you can do more. Go ahead there. So many times when we have a unilateral challenge, for example, one knee, our body starts to overcompensate and the other side of the body gets tight, our hip or our low back. And so I'm going to teach you something called the mermaid right now, which is very helpful to stretch out this region here, the QL muscle that can often get kind of bitey and tighty. So here's how it goes. We'll come down, go ahead and come with me onto our left forearm, and then bring your legs straight out and stack the hips and the feet, of course. This point right here, I'm pointing to the top hip bone. I'll keep cueing that to stay forward because it's going to want to go back, and it's more effective if it's moving slightly forward. Okay. So we're focusing on underneath here on the left side, the QL muscle. And so from here, I want you to press down through your forearm and just try to lift this up. This is like stage one. Maybe that's plenty and you stay here. This is your mermaid. Okay, another mermaid variation is you swivel your hand out and then you slowly start to lift your left elbow and straighten, and then dynamically press down through that arm to get really tall, like you are the most beautiful mermaid or merman, if you're watching this, in the ocean, and you're stretching here. Now, once you're lifted there, check in on this top hip. Can you bring it ever so slightly forward? Just a smidge. Oh, that's like the secret sauce right there. Feel that. Breathe into that. You're doing fabulous. And you're so excited because you get to do the other side as well. So from here, just bend your legs, come on up, and then swing your legs around. Do the mermaid on the second side. So here you are, forearm down, legs stacked, lift up the underside, lift up the right ribs, right through here, yeah. And see how that feels with this hip bone coming forward. If you want to go to stage two, hand comes out, and then just slowly, maybe your arm's not going all the way straight, that's okay. See where it will go, grow tall, and then steer the left hip bone slightly forward. You might feel a big difference in sides, and maybe not. Maybe they feel pretty much the same. It's okay. Just notice what you feel. Mermaid or merman. Oh, so good. And then bend your legs and come on up. Now, if that felt great, repeat it again. All right, kids, we're winding down here. We're going to come onto our back for a couple more postures that will give extra balance to the hip. So once you lie down on your back, this is where the hand towel will come in handy. And you may or may not benefit from this. Sometimes people have a difficult time bending the knee, and so this gives a nice comfort underneath. So grab your towel if you want to give it a try, and if it's not doing anything for you, then just throw it off to the side. So we'll come here onto our back and place the towel under your right knee, and then just slide your hands down the towel. Put your elbows on the floor. Now, if you're not using the towel, then simply interlace your hands on the back of your knee. Okay, so know that you can do either. I kind of like the towel. It just feels comforting to the back of my knee. And from here, you're going to pull the knee towards you. Oh, and your left leg can go straight if that feels okay. Pull the knee towards you for a moment. And then push the knee out. So push out through your heel and the knee, and you'll feel you're pulling back on your towel here. And then again, bring the knee in, push out. So you're keeping this leg at a 90-degree angle, but really pushing out through your leg, your heel. And one more time in. Good. And then out. This time you might explore straightening your leg a little bit or all the way. And you could even slide the towel up a little bit more to your shin and then kick your foot forward. Press your leg forward into the towel. One more breath here. And then we'll just slip that towel right off, lower your leg and come on over underneath your left knee, right in the knee pit there. Press or bring the knee towards your chest for a moment, elongating your right leg on the floor, and then push away firmly. You get a little arm workout here, holding onto that towel. And again, you can have the hands interlaced behind the knee if you prefer, or if you don't have a towel. Bring it in, push it out. One more time, bring it in. And then push forward strong and see about straightening, flexing both feet, extending up through the heel. And if you want, slide or shimmy the towel up a little higher. Again, I'm not pulling this towards my head. I'm pushing the leg out. Yeah. If you feel any discomfort in the back of your knee where it's straight here, then please bend it a little. And we have to teach our mind to listen to our body's language, right? The language of the body is feeling, and the language of the mind is thoughts. Good. And then release. Take the towel, take the towel out. And now find a blanket or a block. I'm going to grab my block. It's just easiest to grab that. And we're going to place it right between the knees. Place it between the knees for some bridges. So, of course, whatever you're holding, it could be a rolled up bath towel, it could be a blanket or a block between your knees. You need to stay hugging in on it, keeping your feet grounded. Let's lift the pelvis up slowly. And then just be mindful here of your height. Don't push up so high that the pubic bone goes too high or you feel pinching in the low back. Lower down a little bit so you're not pushing up super duper high. And squeeze in on the block and just feel that. Feel that. We want to stay strong through the glute muscles, through the low back, through all parts of we want to be strong everywhere. Let's face it, don't we? Who wants to be weak? Raise your hand if you want to be weak. I don't know many people say, I want to be weak. We all want to be strong. We want to feel capable, independent, empowered. Good. Slowly lower your pelvis back down. Feel the ground. That feels lovely. And one more time, lifting up to your second bridge. Squeeze in on the block. Keep your feet equally grounded. Again, we're not pressing too high. You should feel things coming online here. Maybe try to drag your heels back towards your bottom without really moving them, just an isometric little pull back. Feel what happens there. Squeezing in on the block, breathing. And then take a deep breath in right where you are. And exhale, lower your hips on down. Way to go. Awesome. You can take the block out. And once the block is out, we'll let you open your legs into a butterfly position where the soles of the feet are pressing together and the legs are released out. Deep, slow breath. Just letting your body marinate in all of the movement, all of the sensation, all of your beautiful, loving efforts. Noticing that you may have met up with some limitations today, but you honored them. You honored them and you moved forward into all of the other many things that you can still do while being respectful of a part of you that just simply needs more attention right now. It needs your patience and your love and your guidance. It needs you to believe in it. Whatever part of you is feeling vulnerable, just simply slide your legs out straight and taking just a minute here with your arms relaxed out to your side. Just a minute. If this is uncomfortable with straight legs, you could also sit up and just grab your blanket underneath both knees, if that feels more comfortable for your minute of your miracle minute of just nothing. Simply feel the breath breathing you and feel yourself receiving that. You have this, my friend. Whatever is challenging you, you're strong enough to face that challenge. Just keep showing up for yourself. Keep believing in your ability to heal. Your mind may be saying one thing, but your body, if we listen to it, might have a completely different message. It wants to heal. And it needs your attention and patience and love to do that. So, my friends, you can simply stay here resting for as long as you want. It's your choice. Or if you feel that you are sufficiently down-regulated and you're ready to move on to your day or evening, then just begin to slowly wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And you can bend your knees towards your chest. Maybe squeeze them in, give them a hug. And roll to your right side. Push yourself on up. And just taking a brief moment in a seated position. And that might mean your feet are out in front of you or you're cross-legged, whatever's comfortable for you. Let your eyes close. Bring the hands together in front of your heart as a gesture of honoring you. You deserve to be honored for showing up, for taking time to pay attention in a loving way to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. And I found it a privilege, an honor to be able to guide you. So thank you for joining me. Blessings to you. You can lift your head and open your eyes, release your hands. And once again, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Even if you can only take a portion of this practice and then add on, take what works best for you, right? Peace to you all. Thanks so much.